Hello, my dear Virgo friends. I hope you're doing well. Um, and of course, you are the first sign of service in the zodiac. There is something about the heart and soul of the Virgo wants to serve and wants to be needed. And when somebody says, I need you, it's like music to your ears. They're saying, I love you. And what happens is you serve even more. So I want you to know I appreciate you. And whenever I want to know how to do something, I ask a Virgo because they'll do it logically and sequentially. Step one, part A, part B. Step two, part A, part B, part C. Um, and if they don't know how to do it, they'll find out and tell me in great detail, which is, invaluable. So I have your beautiful forecast for May right here, and I'm going to share it with you. Excuse me, we are pollinated here in Atlanta. And what this means is our eyes are running, our nose is dripping. Last week it was oak. This week it's grass and trees. So please forgive me, I'm not crying over your chart. I'm just allergic to everything. So before I get into your forecast, I have an announcement to make. I want to introduce my latest book. I'm so excited about it. And you will be too, I hope, if you are a student of astrology or a professional astrologer, because the name of this book is Hidden Messages in Your Birth Chart. Those of you whose charts I have done, if I've done a reading for you on your birth chart, you know that I talk about mommy's message and daddy's message and ancestors' messages. And because these are the messages, both verbal and nonverbal, that run our lives. And they are visible in the birth chart. When I discovered that, my astrology practice took on an entirely new depth. Of course, I looked at my own and couldn't see it very clearly because we're not objective about ourselves. I think I've made this easy enough for uh, you to hear, the left brain to get, so that you can then really get more in tune and in touch with those messages that keep running you. And once you see them, then you can change them. So I hope you get it and I hope that you enjoy it. And several of you, well, actually, I usually get requests from people writing books who ask me who they can turn to have their book edited, formatted, get it on Amazon, uh, make money off of it. I mean, you didn't write it for your health, right? And I have the most wonderful person I have used for about 10 years. Her name is Denise Casino with two S's. Uh, Denise's website is bestsellerservices.com. And as the name implies, she will get your book to bestseller status on Amazon very quickly. Uh, she is a wonderful person. Everybody loves working with her. If she says she's going to do something, she does. She is affordable, loving, funny, and she will take you by the hand, as it were, and carry you step by step from pre-publication to um, a bestseller status in no time at all. So I highly recommend her. And if you have questions, you can ask me because, as I said, I've worked with other people who claim to do what she does. And they charge a great deal of money and they really don't deliver. And I didn't feel comfortable with them. You will feel comfortable working with Denise. So I hope everybody writing a book is now complete on that. Now, let's talk about your awesome forecast. Looky, look at here. The sun, the yellow planet, and Venus, the pink planet, and Mercury, the blue planet, are all in your ninth house of principles, philosophies, your higher mind, the big picture, and they've been there. They have been there for a couple of weeks. The sun is the center of our universe, our universe. It is the giver of life. When the sun is in your ninth house, you see options you did not even know you had. You can travel long distance. You can go back to school and advance your degree, your education. You just see it. You see the big picture. And on the 20th, the sun moves into your 10th house, which is your career, your public image, what the world sees of you. And so you take your belief systems on which you have gotten clarity and you apply them to your career. Now, you might say, well, I don't have a career, I'm a housewife. That's the most important career you could have. Are you a wife and mother or a husband and father? We're talking about uh, the most important things, uh, being in charge of home and family, caring about children, serving, being the leader, taking charge. It's absolutely beautiful. So you start off with new ideas and you put them into action no matter what your career is, whether you're paid for it or not. This 10th house deals with your public image and you move into the lead slot, no matter what your position happens to be. It's fabulous. That is done on the 20th. Venus, love and beauty, money, is in your ninth house. It has been there for a while. I hope you have had a chance to travel. With COVID, that's always questionable. It has been in the ninth house, so I hope you've been in touch with people online who live way far away, because this can be an eye opener for different cultures, different religions, different belief systems, which you can then put into operation on the 8th of May. And you are then a loving leader in the world. See how good this gets? The sun, Venus, and Mercury always travel together. That threesome works beautifully together. And so on the 8th, you're taking all the love, all the new perspective that you have, and you're putting it into action in your career, and people see you as a loving leader. We could stop here. That's gorgeous. I will keep on going with one more planet, and that's Mercury. Mercury is your conscious mind. And wherever Mercury is, that's what you think about and talk about. Ninth house of your belief system, the principles that govern your life, the big picture, and you put them into operation when Mercury moves into your 10th house on the 3rd of the month. Now, the ninth house also deals with publishing, interestingly enough. So I hope that you have written a manuscript of some sort. And then as these planets, the sun, Venus, and Mercury, move into your 10th house, you can gain recognition from what you have written. Isn't that super? Okay, so you go from the concept to the career, and whatever you're thinking about, it comes alive. Now, Mercury is going to go retrograde on the 29th of the month, And of course, that means everything's going to go kerflooey. We're not going to start new projects. We're going to tie up the loose ends of unfinished projects in our career. Okay? We will enter the shadow of the retrograde on May 15th. Mercury will still be will be in your 10th house at that point. But that's when the career picture gets confused. The leadership picture gets confused. Ride with it. Don't make any new decisions. Just ride with it. Tie up the loose ends of unfinished career projects. And in June, when Mercury goes direct, you can implement them. Um, or if it doesn't happen when in June, by July 7th, when Mercury leaves the final shadow of its retrograde, you'll be able to move forward. And since it is communication, Mercury, um, I would absolutely uh, think in terms of sharing my opinions in my career, teaching as a career, and being loved as a leader. Beautiful. Now, Mars, the red planet, is sitting in your 11th house of friends and group activities and humanitarian group activities. It's really gorgeous. Now, Mars is what you fight with and fight for. Mars is what comes first to you. So the humanitarian side of you is very strongly triggered. And remember, Virgo, you are the one who wants to be needed. Uh, when somebody, I always say this, if somebody says to a Virgo, I need you, that's like saying, I love you. And Virgo will serve gladly and happily. Now, you might go toe to toe with different friends or groups. That's okay. That's okay. That's where you're throwing your energy. Go for it. Go for it. And remember, Mercury's going to be retrograde, so everything's going to be confused anyhow. Go for it. Let me talk about the lunations. We have a new moon on May 11th in 21 degrees of Cancer. Taurus, 21 degrees of Taurus. Find 21 Taurus in your birth chart. It's in your ninth house. Again, principles, concepts, truth um, in your solar chart. And this is when the energy starts moving on the 11th. 2 weeks later, on the 26th, we have a full moon. This full moon is a total lunar eclipse, which means we're going to feel it about 2 weeks before it occurs. As I said, it starts on May 26th. It's in 5 degrees of Sagittarius. Find 5 Sag in your birth chart, because in this solar chart, it's in your 4th house of home, family, real estate, emotional security, all that good stuff. And it comes to a head on this full moon. We feel the effects till the next pair come along, pair of eclipses, but they're at their peak 3 to 4 months after they occur. Now we have another eclipse in June, so check with me next month. However, this particular eclipse will last until, I believe we have 2 more eclipses in November and December. Remember, Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. So, home and family, thinking of moving, thinking of renovating, thinking of going toe to toe with somebody in the family, so be it. So, isn't this awesome? I'm really sending this gorgeous 10th house light because it's so beautiful. Oh, and the 9th too, of course. But Mercury goes retrograde in the 10th. And so I'm just sending light. So till next month, when Mercury goes direct, my blessing for you is that the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.